In this video, we're going to focus on domain and range of a fractional function, okay? Before we solve some questions here, let's take a note. Please write. To find the domain and range of a divisional function without a radical function, we set the denominator to be equal to 0, then solve for the value of s. To find the domain and range of a divisional function without a radical function, we set the denominator to be equal to 0, then solve for the value of s. Note that, please write, note that range of a function, is also known as inverse of domain. That is, the inverse of domain is also known as range of a function, okay? So if you are given a function and domain is given to you, to find the range of that function, you find the inverse of the domain. Please take notes. And this is always possible for divisional or fractional functions, okay? Now let's solve a question here to understand this perfectly. Question 1, please. We are given question 1 here. They said, find the domain and range of f of s equal to s minus 1 over 2s plus 3. All right. Solution first. Okay, there's a simple technique to solve the domain, that is to find the values of s, that is the domain of a function, okay, in terms of divisional or fractional functions. So whenever you have a divisional or fractional function, all you have to do is this, class. You find the undefined values in that function. So when the undefined values are known, so the rest value that is not within the undefined values is going to be the defined value. Okay, just count. If I get the undefined value, so it means that anyone that is not of the undefined value is going to be defined value, okay? So now let's get the undefined value from this particular function. I have the function to be f of s equal to s minus 1 over 2s plus 3. To make this function to be undefined means infinity. To make this guy here to be infinity, that means equate this denominator 2s plus 3 equal to 0 and solve for the value of s. Okay, so I will have this to be 2s plus 3 is equal to 0. So now let's make s the subject here. This will be 2s is equal to minus 3. Our s here will be equal to minus 3 over 2. So that means this value of s, which is minus 3 over 2, will make this function here undefined. It means that s is the element of all real numbers such that s is not equal to minus 3 over 2. That is meaning here. S is the element of all real numbers, right? But not minus 3 over 2. So to represent the domain, which is the value of s here, to represent the domain of this function here, okay, the domain of this function here is s is the element of all real numbers such that s is not equal to minus 3 over 2. So how do we get the range in this particular question? To find the range here to be the inverse of the domain. So I have this to be y, remember, equal to f of s is y as a letter, s minus 1 over 2s plus 3. So I will find the inverse. Of this function. All right, if you have not watched most of my video on inverse of a function, all you have to do is to search for the video that is inverse of a function, okay? Now, to find the inverse of any function, you make letter S the subject of formula, okay, and replace y to s as you replace s as the inverse, okay. So now let's make s the subject here. I will have this to be class 2s plus 3 times y, that is when it cross multiply here, will be equal to class s minus 1. Our intention here is to make s the subject, but in mathematics, whenever there is involvement of bracket, you open the bracket. I have this to be class 2s plus 3 times y is equal to s minus y 1. Our intention here is to make s the subject. I will open this bracket here, that is 2sy plus 3y is equal to s minus 1. Let's take like terms here, okay. I'll group all the s in one place. I will have 2sy minus s is equal to minus 1 minus 3y, okay. So let's make s the subject. I'll factor out s. When you factor out s here, this will be 2y. I'll be left with 2y here. So there's an invisible one here. When you factor out s here, to be minus 1 here, is equal to minus 1 minus 3y. So let's make s the subject. S here is equal to minus 1 minus 3y over 2y minus 1. If you look into this function here, it's a divisional function, and to find the domain or range of a divisional function, we equate the denominator by 0 and find the later, okay. So let's equate it. This will be 2y minus 1 is equal to 0. Our intention here is to find the undefined value, and when you find the undefined value, so any value that's not of undefined value is defined. Please take note. So let's make y the subject. I will have 2y is equal to 1. So y will be equal to 1 over 2. It means that y is the element of all real numbers such that y is not equal to 1 over 2. Please take note. So the range of the function is y is the element of all real numbers such that y is not equal to 1 over 2. So all you have to do to get more advanced question on domain and range of a function is to hit this subscribe button, okay. Thank you.